You can go to satellite radio or go to the internet or go to one of the other great affiliate websites and listen. Now, Sarah Palin started her political career in a small town. Barack Obama started his political career from the house of a domestic terrorist. Yes, it's important that we point these things out. Now, the media, they're really flummoxed by this. I mean, after all, the lib media and the libs are one and the same thing, are they not? So here we have Time magazine, Mark Halpern. John McCain's selection of Palin as his running mate will either turn out to be a brilliant way for the Republican to scramble the race in his favor or a disastrous pick that is cast as a desperate act. No, it's a brilliant pick, you. I said it's a brilliant pick. You're the guys who are trying to spin it as a desperate act. Why is it desperate? He picked an accomplished woman, a wonderful mother and wife, a person with plenty of experience to be vice president of the United States. Why would that be a desperate act, you idiot? Well, we got to pick Joe Biden, who rides the Amtrak to Wilmington. The smear merchant who sat there as chairman of the Judiciary Committee and trashed Robert Bork and trashed Clarence Thomas. Yeah, that's what we want in leadership. A political hitman with plugs. Now, on the face of it, McCain has failed the ultimate, listen to this, idiot, the ultimate test that any presidential candidate must face in picking a running mate, selecting someone who is unambiguously qualified to be president. Is this guy nuts? The Democrat Party just picked somebody who is unambiguously unqualified to be president of the United States. Barack, Milhouse, and Obama. Now they're trashing the vice presidential nominee, soon to be, of the Republican Party, who basically will have as her job to be in a position of waiting in case something happens to the president, as well as other responsibilities that a president should give her. But the Democrats have actually nominated for president somebody who has less experience than all three of the other ones running. In fact, he has less experience than most county commissioners. The media's in the tank. You already know this. I just do this to underscore it. Don't let them affect you. Then some guy named Ron Fournier, if that is his name, with the Associated Depressed. John McCain's risky choice, it's a risky choice to pick the governor of Alaska, gives him a running mate who doubles down on his maverick image, may appeal to hockey moms and other women, and counters Barack Obama's aura of new generation change. But he may have undercut his best attack on the Democrat. If Obama's an empty suit, as McCain has suggested, is Palin suited for the Oval Office herself? See? Let me explain something. This isn't really that complicated. She's been governor for 2 years. Now, as governor for 2 years, she's had more responsibility in 1 month than Milhouse has had in his entire career as a backbencher in the legislature. She's had to make decisions about budgets and spending and priorities and all the rest of it. She's the CEO of a state. Barack Obama was a nobody. He was in the peanut gallery in the state legislature, and he could barely find the men's room in the U.S. Senate. That's why they run all these commercials lying about his record. He has no record. And they don't want you to know about his associations because you would think he's nuts. But you don't have to rewrite the history of the governor of Alaska, Palin. You know who we'll find out soon enough who her siblings are. My guess is they're not in some far-off land living off $1 a month. That's just my guess. My guess is this is a functional family, unlike Barack Milhouse Obama's family. And I've had enough about the praise of the father. The father was an economics student. He was a Marxist. He came here to get his education. He married an 18-year-old woman. As soon as he was done, he left her and his son. He went back to Kenya to join his communist tribe, which was out of favor with the government. He began to drink extremely heavily. I'm telling you this because you didn't see this in the Invesco Center there, Coliseum, as we call it. No. I'm giving you the real history. And he married a few more times, and he cheated a few more times, and he's got kids all over the world probably. Then he had a car accident, and he died He died a poor man. Then we have this woman, the governor of Alaska. I mean, she really is the American dream. And look how big her heart is. Look how solid her principles are. Look at her faith. She doesn't have to wear it around her neck. She lives it every day. There's no question about her faith. Why is that? Because it's real. To the best of my knowledge, her pastor isn't an anti-Semite. A nut job. And look, she made a decision to keep a baby who had Down syndrome. And I remember reading, and I paraphrase her saying, look, he has one less chromosome, but we're all different, and he's just a little different, and I love him with all my heart. I think most mothers understand that. The National Organization for Ugly Women, they call themselves now, has just put out a release opposing Sarah Palin because, as I said, they only support liberals. This same group, the National Organization of Ugly Women, stood by B.J. Bill Jefferson Clinton through thick and thin, despite allegations of rape, despite adultery, despite sexual assault, and that basically was the Paula Jones case. They stood by him. And they're out there now with the rest, trashing a mother, a governor, an accomplished woman. These are the freaks of our society, folks. These special interest left-wing groups. You know, they talk about special interests, business, and all. Look at all the freak shows on the left there. Since when does the National Organization for Ugly Women speak for all women? It doesn't. Since when does the NAACP speak for all blacks? It doesn't. They don't hold elections. There's not some national election to decide if they do or don't. Since when does CARE, the radical left Muslim group, since when do they represent all Muslims? They don't. And yet they claim to. And they have enormous influence with the media because the media agree with them. And that's the truth. And by the way, it is John McCain's 72nd birthday today. Why is that a bad thing? Why are we supposed to find that to be a negative? He's so old. The average age is what, around 80? Life expectancy? But he's 72 years old. So what? Why am I supposed to be worked up about that? They want us to be worked up about he's too old, and they want us to be worked up about her, she's too young. Now this is the same party that just reelected Robert Byrd to the United States Senate, and they'll keep electing him when his days are over. And they lecture us. I don't think so. They don't get to make these decisions for us. Now, I want you to hear a little bit from Sarah Palin herself. But, Mark, what about Obama's speech last night? Ladies and gentlemen, it was a laundry list of socialist agenda items. Why do I need to play that over and over again? The guy is a fraud. You want to hear that crap? Go listen to Air America. You want to hear that crap? Go watch that buffoon, Keith Overbite, Countdown to No Ratings. It was on all last night, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. I can't take it. And then we have the media in this country, just to underscore it. We have the media in this country. See, I don't pretend to be a journalist or a reporter. I'm a talk show host. You know my views. But these phonies do. So we have CNN's John King. Today, can Palin take care of her child with Down syndrome and do all the rest of this stuff? Cut 7, go.
You just asked a very poignant question. She's a mother of an infant child with Down syndrome. Can she, up to the rigors not only of a national campaign, but of the vice presidency, should they win the election?
I wasn't asking that from a political standpoint. Right. Is the father of two children. You wonder, a child requires a lot of attention when a child is healthy. If a child has Down syndrome, it requires that much more care. Can she take the time that she needs with her child? And how would it affect that child's development?
You know, if I were a woman, which of course I'm not, we don't do that here, but if I were a woman, I'd be so disgusted by this you have no idea. She dared to allow this child to live. She dared to give birth to this child. She dares to be governor of Alaska.